The 2017-2018 NBA season is almost here. I can't wait, baby. So many teams and, of course, fans with a lot of optimism about this upcoming season. But before the season gets started, I'm going to give you 10 predictions about this NBA season, some of which I know already are going to shock you. Now, before I give you these predictions, you need to understand that I've been doing this for a long time. I've been watching NBA basketball for a long time. More times than not, these predictions, no matter how wild they seem, usually end up coming true. But it's a new season. I could be wrong, but without further ado, here are 10 NBA predictions about the 2017-2018 NBA season. Starting with number 10, Anthony Davis or DeMarcus Cousins will be traded. Okay, I'm just gonna say that right now. You shouldn't even really be that surprised. I don't think that this situation with the both of them is going to work out. And they're both great players, but there's just so many other things that team needs in order to compete. They're not gonna make the playoffs again. You really don't want to be in the Western Conference this year. Once it's evident that they're not going to make it, I think you will see some moves made with either Anthony Davis or DeMarcus Cousins, or possibly both. So, and I don't think that's too big of a shocking prediction. That's why that's number 10. Number 9, the Los Angeles Clippers will be better without Chris Paul. Listen, I got to give it up to Clippers management. They made what I feel like is one of the biggest hauls that I've ever seen in a trade, getting as many players as they did for basically one player in Chris Paul, who is a great player. Don't get me wrong. He is an awesome player. One player doesn't equal, 5 or 6 players. And it's not like the Clippers got 5 or 6 bums. They got back decent players. Getting Sam Dekker, getting Montrezl Harrell, getting Lou Williams, Patrick Beverley. And the depth of that team is really going to shine this year. And I think the Clippers are going to do some exciting things, which leads me to number 8. Blake Griffin is going to be an MVP candidate this year. I see it already. I believe it. If you haven't watched the first couple preseason games, Blake Griffin has added a 3-point shot to his game. Now, if you remember when he came in the league, Blake Griffin couldn't even shoot free throws, much less a jump shot. And this dude has worked on his game, improved his game every year, and now he has a legit 3-point shot. He's gonna have the ball in his hands more. He's a very, very underrated passer. So I think you could see Blake Griffin putting up something like, 28 points a game, 10 rebounds, and possibly 6 or 7 assists. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Clippers are going to do this year. Number 7, your boy Lonzo Ball will not win the Rookie of the Year. Don't see the Lakers making the playoffs. I think Lonzo Ball is a fine basketball player. I think he's a good basketball player. But quite honestly, I don't even see this working in LA. It's just, you got the LeVar Ball, elephant in the room, whatever you want to say, always in the room, always making decisions. And I do think that is going to wear on the organization. Lonzo Ball has not proven that he can play in 5 or 6 straight games. He sat out last night because of an injury. Dude, it's the preseason. So I have questions about how many games he's going to play. And, when he doesn't play, the Lakers are going to suck. So, not that I think that Lonzo is a bad player. I just think it's a really bad fit in Los Angeles. I think eventually Lonzo is going to end up being traded, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that prediction for probably next year, but Lonzo Ball will not win the Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. Number 6, the 76ers I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that they are going to make the playoffs. I have looked at their roster, and, I think with the pickup of J.J. Redick, Richaun Holmes, who I love since the day he was drafted. I tried to tell people about Richaun Holmes. Nobody wanted to listen. And you still got who I feel like is the best player on the team, Jahlil Okafor. Of course, Embiid is hurt. We'll see how that goes. But I think even if Embiid doesn't play, I think the 76ers can be the AC. But I do feel like Markelle Fultz is going to end up on the bench. He's not going to end up starting. And I think once that happens, then I think the team will start to do better. And they'll probably make a deal, close to the deadline and get a veteran point guard because that's really what they need. Number 5, the Dallas Mavericks will make the playoffs. Oh boy, I hear you right now. Brother, is you crazy? Negro, what is wrong with you? Are you serious? The Mavericks gonna make the playoffs? Yes. I'm saying it right now, and I'm saying it based on this. Obviously, you got the young stud, Dennis Smith. Can you imagine the 76ers with Dennis Smith? My goodness. But anyway, it's not just because of him. People don't give Rick Carlisle enough credit for what he's done. Rick Carlisle is a tremendous coach. He likes to slow it down a little bit too much, but he is a brilliant basketball mind. He knows how to manage a game, and he knows how to deal with personalities. Remember, he started in Detroit when you had, a lot of characters there. So because of Rick Carlisle, and, Dallas has some decent players. They, Nerlens Noel is going to come into his own. They've drafted well. I just feel like there's enough talent there, and Dennis Smith will break enough ankles. You still got Dirk Nowitzki hitting shots. I believe that they'll be able to get into that 7th or 8th spot in the Western Conference. Number 4, Cleveland Cavaliers will have the best record in the NBA. They are stacked. They are the deepest that they have ever been. This is the best team that LeBron James has ever had. And even with LeBron taking some games off, even with Isaiah Thomas being out for potentially half the year, with D Rose and Dwayne Wade and Jay Crowder and Kevin Love, and you're probably going to have Tristan Thompson coming off the bench with Jeff Green. This is a deep, deep team. And they still have the best player in the league, LeBron James. So, I see the Cavs winning a lot of games this year. And with the Eastern Conference not being as competitive, I believe the Cavs will end up with the best record in the NBA. Number 3. Your boy Russell Westbrook, I think, is going to average another triple-double this season. I'm calling it. I'm saying it right now. Now, do I think he's going to average 30 points as well? No, I don't. You cannot tell me with Paul George on the team and Carmelo Anthony on the team that the assists aren't going to go up. I think the assists are going to go up. The only question that I have is, can he rebound at the same clip with Paul George, who's a good rebounder, and Carmelo, who's a good rebounder. But I think at the end of the day, he's going to average another triple-double. And as I said before, if he does that, how could you not then call Russell Westbrook the greatest point guard of all time? Number 2, and this is going to shock some people right here, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now, but I'm not just saying this for shock value. I'm saying it because of what I see. The San Antonio Spurs will not be a top 4 team in the Western Conference. I am almost tempted to say that they won't make the playoffs, but I have too much respect for Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich will find a way, but I will not be surprised if San Antonio is in that 8th spot and fighting for a play. There's going to be so much competition in the Western Conference this year, And I don't believe the Spurs have enough scoring talent. I don't think they have enough young talent to win games like they did in years previous. They may not win 50 games. The Spurs' reign as the most consistent team in the NBA might be over. And now, number one, the most shocking prediction, and that is Golden State will not win the NBA championship this year. I'm saying it right now. I'm calling it out. Is Golden State still the best team in the NBA on paper? Yes, they are. They have the most talent, and we know what they have. We don't have to talk about it, but I believe there's going to be some off-the-court drama between Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. I believe everybody got along last year for the sake of winning the championship, but this year people are out to get their own. And for those reasons and potentially an injury, if you have an injury to KD or an injury to Steph Curry, then Golden State is not going to be able to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder or the upper echelon teams in the Western Conference. On paper, they still look good, but I'm saying for off-the-court reasons, Steve Kerr's health is still not the greatest. And I just don't think they have that same pain, that same drive. Man, it is hard to win a championship. It's hard to win a championship. You talking about winning back-to-back, and every team that they play in the playoffs this year, it's going to be a tough out. You talking about potentially going through the Thunder, going through the Clippers, going through the Timberwolves potentially. You're not going to be sweeping every team like they did last year. So the NBA has adjusted. It's going to be a very high-scoring season, I believe. And I believe the grind of the Western Conference is going to weigh down the Golden State Warriors to whoever they meet in the East, most likely Cleveland. I think it's going to be too much for them to win a championship. So anyway, those are my predictions. I want to hear your predictions. You give me 10 NBA predictions about this upcoming season, but it is going to be an exciting season, man, and I can't wait. It's your boy BSG, 24/7 Sports, and I'm going to holler at y'all in the next video.